Do you know where in the middle you're starting?
No, I mean, sometimes I have an idea. I'll write something. I'll write this big moment or come up with a few chords that I like, and then kind of imagine where they could go in the piece. And I always try to. There's kind of a tendency for composers to fall into traps. Where you have following the golden section or something and having the big moment 3/4 of the way through the piece. And I try to consciously go against that. So maybe it's the big moment happens right halfway through the piece or at the very, very end or at the very beginning or something. So.
How do you find those harmonies that you start with?
It's just, the process has changed over the years. I mean, it's just sort of, I do a lot, okay, let me back up. I'm in love with triads, and usually all of my harmony comes out of triads, even if it ends up being really complicated. So I always usually experiment with putting triads together, and then that takes me in a totally different direction.
Do you do that at the piano or in your head?
I do it at the piano to start, and then can work on it in my head.
What was your instrument?
Piano.
How did you get to composing then?
Well, very early on, because I started playing piano, and then it was very, very clear that I was not going to be a soloist, and I not because I didn't love it or that I wasn't dedicated, because I couldn't handle the isolation.
Oh, right.
And I was like, this isn't like playing. I'm not playing chamber music. I'm just playing these solo pieces, and I'm alone 10 hours a day. Yeah, I can't do this. So and I started to write, and
but people think of writing as very isolated.
It is. Yeah, people do. People always say that. It's like, but you're alone in your room 10 hours a day now. But there's something about that process that feels, even when I'm alone, I'm picturing the rehearsals. I'm picturing working with people, and I'm writing for people, so it doesn't feel as alone.
And it's also a very creative outlet for you, whereas practicing a piece would be connecting with something that's very abstract and trying to interpret it, and there's maybe a bit of a block there if you are creatively stimulated.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think I wasn't able to find... I think that great soloists find that creative... Obviously the creative aspects of practicing and playing, but I couldn't do it. I hit that wall that you described, and I couldn't get over it without writing it myself.
Yeah, I took piano for a while, and it never stuck with me because I didn't want to sit in one place. Just like sitting there and looking at the same wall for that many hours was just not appealing. Yeah. So what was your first composition then? Like, how did that happen for you?
I think I arranged Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in like several different styles, and which I could still play on the piano. And then I was writing for piano initially.